Hello there. For those of you who are wondering, I have not taken off this bathrobe since the pandemic started. And I gotta say, I don't regret it. Really recommend 10 out of 10 bathrobe life. Just wanted to hop on here today to talk about something that I thought maybe other people can relate to. And I guess the best way I can say it is it's about shame and disgust and guilt and all of those lower vibration emotions that we have such a hard time allowing ourselves to feel fully, and the importance for letting them in. As otherwise we're just shaming our shame, if that makes sense. So I was writing about this today, in my journal, and here, why don't I just read it to you? So I say, trying to fully let in the disgust at the items on my to-do list that have remained there for what feels like lifetimes. Let that fully in the door so I can wrap it in my loving and curious and compassionate light. It's a challenge. My conditioning just lets it in through a tiny crack. It feels like I'm going down a hill on my bike, feathering my brakes the whole time. Those of you who don't bike, feathering is just like gently letting on the brakes. Squeezing the frame with my knees for dear life. Afraid of the risk that comes with feeling the full wind in my hair, the trust in the descent. I hold on tightly to the handlebars and the worry that I'll hit a stick or lean just too much, or my bike will malfunction, or a car will hit me, or I'll careen over the guardrails over a cliff. It all seems perfectly logical and perfectly suffocating. I hold this tension of opposites, disgust and compassion. Let them fully flood me. Let the gravity consume me. Take my hand off the brakes and make my way down that hill. It's terrifying and it's alive. When I let it out, that little girl, or I'd say early 20-something woman in me, that is filled with utter disgust at my lack of productivity. When I hear her out, when I give her permission to speak, to yell, to vent, I can feel her softening, finally not interrupted or silenced, ignored, invalidated. She begins to sit down and eventually fall silent, feeling overwhelmed with relief at finally being heard. Compassion wraps her loving arms around her. I feel the breeze. So again, I just bring this up because I'm just really drawn to this idea, this reality for me, that there are all these different parts in me, and to lovingly hold space for each of them by allowing them each to have a voice, including the shame, including the disgust, including what some might call the shadow or lower vibration. That too is part of me, and it's really, I'm discovering for myself that it's only by letting them fully speak and be heard and acknowledged that they can feel free and feel safe. I don't know if that makes sense, but it feels true for me. Thanks for listening.